Hello, welcome back to More Fun Fixing It. I'm back here again with another Commodore 64. We're on a bit of a streak at the moment. This is the fourth machine out of the pile of 5 bog standard C64s that I want to fix before I get onto fixing the 5 Silver Label C64s, including the very, very low serial number C64 that I've shown on the channel before. That still has a problem that I'm not 100% sure how to fix. I have asked the community and I'll be using their answers to help me diagnose and fix that machine once I've got all of these other machines done. I'm basically working out how all of the kinks of my C64 diagnosing skills on all of these other machines before I get to that precious one. Now this one is one that you've seen on, you may have seen on a triage episode in the past. And it says here works but flickers, and I've written down on here PLA bad ? And this is the output that we get from this one. Ooh, sparkly. And I'm wondering why I thought PLA is bad on this one, because that just looks like color RAM, doesn't it? I'm wondering why I thought PLA is bad on this one.
Just looks like color RAM. Doesn't it?
I'm not sure. Let's find out.
Just looks like color RAM. Doesn't it? Just looks like color RAM. Doesn't it? I'm assuming this is a short board. Doesn't it? Just looks like color RAM. Doesn't it? Doesn't it?
I'm not sure. Let's find out. I'm assuming this is a short board. I'm not actually sure if I opened this one on the triage episode. I don't know why I would have put the screws back. I don't usually put the screws back, so I can't have opened this one. My favourite sort of case. A C64C. This is the one I had back in the day. Back in 1990 or so. Yeah, I've not been in here before because it's still got the RF shield intact. That'll be going. Okay, yeah, because this is a short board, the PLA, it can't be the PLA, it's a super PLA. And they very rarely go wrong. Not unheard of, as our friend Mark on the Retro channel has found out. But I'm kind of inclined to count that out at the moment. I do have one spare. I sent one to Mark in Australia to help him fix his one. And I kept one, I've got one more spare just in case. Right, so that bit can get in the bin. Let's go through our diagnosis on this board. So hang on, before we start. So this is the one without color RAM. The color RAM is built into the PLA on this one. That's a worry. I don't think it's going to be anything to do with the clock. I mean, it could be. Oh, we've had some rework done on this on this CIA over here. Just a weird line of flux on either side of that chip's legs. Stray splashes of solder about as well. There's quite a lot of work around the that could be factory, around the back of the switch. It's not around the joystick ports. You'd expect those to be in the same condition. Wonder if that's just been reworked at the same time that was. Oh, and the memory's been changed as well. There's a lot of flux around the there's two, what are these, 41464 memory chips, DRAMs, and there's a good amount of flux around those as well. And there's a little bit at the back of the Super PLA. There's some 3 pins there that have been reflowed, and 2 over here, and it looks like there might be some damage there. I might have to get the microscope out here. Could just be needing a reflow. Quite a lot of solder points on here that are starved of solder, but they're not huge pads. There's another point here over on this CIA on this side that's got a bit of flux that's been reworked. Interesting. First thing I'm going to do is just give all of these chips a push that are in sockets, just the 2 of them. The SID and the CPU. Sorry, the VIC-II. CPU's over here. VIC-II. Oh, and there's a timing chip there that's in a socket. I'll give it another little go, and then we'll have a look under the microscope. Doing the same thing. I wonder what diagnostics says for this one. Should, oof, it's really bad. Screen RAM's okay. RAM test 1 is okay. Test 2 is okay. PLA test is bad. Oh dear, that's not good. I think the best thing to do first is actually to reflow the PLA. I'm not going to take that out yet. I will take it out if it needs to come out, but I think just reflowing those points. But let's have a look under the microscope. Right, this might be the most feeds I'm recorded at once. I've got capture, which I can't show you because it's all flickery at the moment, but microscope, this camera, this camera, this camera, and the capture for the scope as well, all running at the same time. Right, so this is the PLA, and this is the bit, oh, that's one of the points that looks like it's been reworked. You see, there's just the hint of a crack, especially right. So this one here, like there's a crack around there. There's another area there that looks like it's been reworked. And on this side, this one here, that one there looks like that's cracked there. Oh no, that's just a bit of dirt. But this one looks like it could have cracked around the base of that one. Yeah, look, that one really does look cracked. And there, look, that one there. Could definitely be cracked. There's super long legs on that one. Doesn't look like there's any actual board damage there. That's just flux. I'm not sure what that white is, but part of the, that's actually into the board. Yeah, that is board damage there, but I don't think it's anything terminal. Oh, that one looks super crusty there. Well, they might have reflowed all of them when they reflowed those first ones or those other ones. Okay, so let's do that. Just going to use a squidge of top nick for this. But there's plenty of flux in the actual solder that I'm going to be adding to it, so. How much better does that look? It's so close together, these points. It's really difficult to make sure that you are in the right place. I really need to reflow those ones that have been reflowed, but I'm just doing it out of an abundance of caution. And this isn't wasted work. If I have to remove this PLA, I'm going to want to reflow all of these points anyway, so it's worth doing, and I'm doing it carefully just in case it doesn't need to be removed. Cool, that one just wants to suck in all of the solder. Last four. And I think that it's going to be a problem removing these because well, you can see down at this area where that damage was, that the board is not in, it's not a strong board. I think that might have problems with lifting pads on this one. But anyway, let's give that a go and see what if it made any difference. Might not be on the PLA, could be something near it, or it could be another point on the board altogether. Yeah, still doing the same thing. Oh, it is showing bad memory results. So there's a U21, U23. So, oh, interesting. Okay, I'm going to stick des test in this and see what that says. I mean, this could the bad memory results could be down to the PLA. Interesting to see what it does when it gets down to the color RAM. Yeah, color RAM bad. Oh. The only thing I haven't done is remove the SID because it doesn't need to be in there, and hopefully there's nothing wrong with it. Put that to one side, just in case. Okay, all right then. So it looks like it could be bad memory, and I'm keen to actually take the memory out first because there's only 2 chips and they'd be quite easy to test. Would be a good exercise to make sure that I'm not going to waste my time taking this out. If these come out and start lifting pads, I'm not even going to bother. I don't think it would be worth it. I'd be better off making a new board with these parts because this is a really tightly packed package, and if this starts lifting pads, and I have a horrible feeling that's what it's going to do, if this starts lifting pads, then this will turn into a donor board quite quickly. and I still have to find the other PLA. But let's get this memory out, because one of these was coming up faulty on one of the tests, and I'm hoping that that is influencing the other results somehow, but I don't think it is. Fixing C64s is so great because they're never the same, apart from when it's just the PLA. But yeah, in general, you find something new every one you open up. They're great. I wonder if I'll feel the same in like 2 years' time when I've fixed 1,000 C64s. There are only so many out there, so I can't keep going forever. Well, I think we might be all right. I'm not dwelling too long on each point. I'm happy to melt from the other side as well with hot air if I have to. The solder seems to be melting really quickly. Let's see how we did. Yep. It's going to be a nice board to work on. Keep these chips in order. I'm not even having to heat up on the top side. It's a stable board. This is good news. So we can take the PLA out without too much risk. Let's get a chip tester. A selection of chip testers. I've got my Pico tester here. I might use that in a sec, but I'm just going to use this one first. This one I don't have to set this up or anything or press the right buttons. And I need to do a modification for the Pico tester to make it work a little bit more reliably. If you want more information on that, you need to ask Henry. It's always Henry's fault, on the Retro Hardware Discord, who figured out how to fix it, basically. Not fix it. It works fine, but make it more reliable. Oh, I can't remember the results on this. What's a good chip? Green is definitely good. So that's a good chip. This will be a good chip as well. So we're going to have to get this one out. I'm going to give this every chance. I've already reflowed the solder on it. I'm also going to preheat the board with hot air. Yep, 2 good chips. So I'll put sockets in these and make them a bit nicer. But we'll put those aside for now. And let's get this one out. I'm not going to take... Well, actually, no. First thing I need to do is look for a replacement. Okay, so I have this board with a Super PLA intact. And normally I would be thinking, oh, I'll just heat this up and take it out, without even removing the solder and not worry about damaging the board. But the board actually looks in okay condition. I don't want to do any more damage to this because I might end up using it instead of that one. It's got more sockets on it. Yeah, I'm going to take it out of here first. All right, I've super cleaned out my desoldering station. And I've also cooled down my cameras because they overheated. I'm just going to get some hot air into this board. My desoldering station's immediately blocked. Don't know what that was. I'm having to... Oh, it's not good. Doesn't fit. Well, it's working after a fashion, but the nozzle doesn't really fit in between the other legs. Have a think here. Okay, I was struggling a little bit with the Hacko there, so I've stopped. And the Hacko, I've got this S993A as well, and they've got very similar profiled nozzles on them, which is to say they're quite wide at the actual entry point. So, and it's quite a steep angle. So it's difficult to get these between the points on this Super PLA. But I've still got my old ZD915. What? No, sorry. I've got a new ZD915 over here with a much narrower profile on the nozzles. So there's like a waist that goes up. So I'm going to turn this on and use this one. So I think it will do better. This is a souped up ZD915 with the modifications done. But it's going to need a while to heat up. All these desoldering stations are to do with a video that I've got upcoming on my main channel. Few points in the middle here that don't want to release, so let's keep going. Come back to those, but all the rest seem to be going well. So groups of them didn't seem to want to come out. Yeah, this group here where there are 3 pins in a row, they're all connected to heavy traces on this side or near them. I'm just going to give those a reflow and try again. I'm just going to hit it with some solder wick on the top. Take the solder out of this side and there'll be less thermal mass. That's the idea. It might have done it all by itself. There's still a couple of pins on this side that are heavy with solder. Yeah, this one heavy around place. Everything else looks good. Let's get those 2 out. I think it should be okay. Still doesn't want to move, that one. None of these feel particularly loose. So it's going to be a case of heating until it comes out, basically. It's going to be a difficult one to pull though, because there's a lot of mechanical force with all of those legs sticking in the holes. Wouldn't it be funny if that just popped out? But it's not going to. Right. Ready? Phew! It's not an easy chip to take out. A couple of holes that have some solder in them still they needed. Everything else was basically free, but they were not letting go, and that's this big ground plane here. Both sides needed heating up, but we got it out. So now I need to do it again. Well, that went so much better. The Hacker really is a brilliant tool. I wonder if that's just going to pop out. Yeah, straight out. No damage at all. That is amazing. Right, this is what it looks like under the scope before I solder it up. All of the points, all of the pads look pretty good. There's one here, that one there is a little bit battered, but this looks like it's the area where there was already some work done. So it might have been the person before me. But they look okay. The thing is, there's no solder mask around these points. This is bare PCB. I don't know why that is. It might be something to do with the pitch of these holes. But looking at everything around here, it all looks good to me. So let's get it soldered up. All right, so I've tried not to flood each one with too much solder. Looking at the other side, the solder's flowed up over onto this side of the board, no problem. That's good. All right, still got to put these sockets in. Slightly easier soldering job. There's a lot of old flux on these points. Let's just get rid of that. Because it's still warm, it's easy to get it off. These tested good chips can go back in. After my recent performances, I'm not 100% confident, but we'll see. Capture. Should be ready to try. I made it worse. We just have a black screen. Memory's in the right way. It's only the SID missing. We do. Interesting. Well, that's made it a little bit more interesting. I think it's time for me to poke it with a hot scope and see what comes out. I'll also check all of the soldering I've done, make sure there's nothing shorted here. I'm pretty sure, I'm fairly confident that's worked well, but we'll see. I'll be back shortly. Right, so I took a little break, went and had some food, spent some time with my family, cleared my head, and this is always the best thing you can do. And I came back and I went through the basics. I made sure, first of all, that I hadn't bridged any connections on the Super PLA. I also tried different modes on the diagnostics. So this diagnostic mode just gives me a black screen. And I think that that's no RAM check, but the same check with the RAM gives me this screen, which is very odd. I wasn't sure what was going on there. Now, dead test, well, so Matt Desmond's test just does this straight away. Just fails with a blue border, fail test 0 page. Memory, eh? What does dead test think of it? Single flash. It's kind of agreeing. That's half the memory on Matt Desmond's test. 4 green bars and 4 red bars, so half of the memory is not there. So maybe it's one of the memory chips. So I tested the continuity on the memory chips with my multimeter. Now, I did say, hopefully, I wasn't going to make an idiot of myself again when in this episode when making this repair. But sadly, that's not to be. I forgot one. I did do it in quite a hurry when I was doing it. I was in a big hurry because I had limited time left. And I was trying to get this done so that I could then edit it later. So let's put a little bit of solder in here. There we go. That looks better. Will it work? Here we go. Clear. Yeah. Oh. 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 Right, so we're just back to where we were. Right. So whatever this is, it's not the Super PLA, and I need to look up what U19 is now, because I am now wondering if that is a 2114 and I've been chasing my tail and this isn't the right board. I could really have made an idiot of myself. Oh no. Oh, I don't. Am I getting worse at this? That's the colour RAM. I thought it was a logic chip. It's got a code on it, LC, what is it? LC3514A. What should have given it away is it says -15 on the chip, which is a speed rating. That's colour RAM and it's faulty. Oh my God. What am I doing? Oh well. There's one in here as well. Although this one says 2114, like it's supposed to. It's not my fault. I took out that PLA for nothing. All right, I've got a working PLA over here. This one works. We're pretty sure this one works, and I can put that in my parts drawer now. All right, so what I need to do is stop making assumptions. Check things. I just broke a bit of this chip. Wow. Does not want to come out. Having a great time here. So I've managed to snap the bottom off of this chip. Where is it? There it is. So I can't put that in like that because I was in just too big a hurry to take it out, thinking that it would just pop out by itself. Now let's try again. This time I'm going to put the nozzle back in that I had in before, because this is great for a PLA, but it doesn't seem to work very well. Well, it didn't seem to work very well on that board. So I'm going to change it back. Always good to have an excuse to get this out. 2114. That's a good chip. I've got to get the other one out now. I've basically not fixed enough shortboards to learn the difference between the different revisions. But this just goes to show I'm not an expert. I don't pretend to be an expert. So if you've got that expectation of me, then that's on you, not me. Just because I make YouTube videos doesn't mean I know everything about what I'm doing. Yes. That's where I got it. Or where it came from, it was very, very kindly donated by Yesek. Yep. SRAM's common. 2114. Nope, not happy. Dead chip. But we knew that really, didn't we? I do feel a wee bit ashamed on this one. I should have known better. I should have learned from there's 2 out of the last 3. I did similar things made similar mistakes. There's a SID in there. Let's get a test harness on this and give it a proper test before I put this to bed. Marvelous. Yeah. Fully working, 100%, nothing wrong with this anymore, just the color RAM. There we go. The last thing to do is just put a note on here for Paul. I'm an idiot. Part 3. Just the color RAM. Okay, it's over there with its working friends. Yeah, I'm not sure how to feel about this one. I am a little bit disappointed in myself. I've, you know, 3 times out of the last 4. That's I need to improve. My average has dropped considerably in my own eyes, and yeah, I need to do better, and I will do better. I'm going to try to learn from this. Okay, well, I am having fun doing this. I am having fun making videos about repairing these old computers and sharing them with you. That's what I'm having. Don't jump into the comments and give me too hard a time. I mean, I deserve a bit of a hard time, but I've never said I'm an expert. Try to bear that in mind. When you list off all of the things that I should remember, I'm not going to remember them. I'm just not. It's not how I'm built. I will do better next time, though. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like this video, then you know what to do with the likes and subscribes and things like that. Leave a comment. Leave a nice comment. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. And I'm wondering why I thought PLA is bad on this one, because that just looks like color RAM, doesn't it? I'm wondering why I thought PLA is bad on this one.
Just looks like color RAM, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Doesn't it?
I'm not sure. Let's find out.
Just looks like color RAM, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Just looks like color RAM, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Doesn't it? I'm assuming this is a shortboard, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Just looks like color RAM, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Doesn't it?